What's up, y'all? It's your boy Bagel here, and today we're here with another Regulation I video. Today we have a Sun team showcasing Groudon, Cresselia, Ogerpon Heartflame, Venusaur, Torkoal, and Glastrier. Let's see how this team checks out. Up first we have Groudon. See, for Regulation I, you get to have up to 2 restricted legendaries, and I chose Groudon and Glastrier as my 2. This Groudon showcases the Fire Terra type. It has its signature move Precipice Blades, Earthquake, Heat Crash, and Rock Slide. Heat Crash does more damage based on the weight of the Pokemon, and since Groudon is a relatively heavy Pokemon, it does max 120 base power. Rock Slide is 90% accurate and it hits both opponents. Earthquake hits both opponents and your teammate, so that's why I have Cresselia with Levitate, just to ignore that, and Precipice Blades to hit both opponents. Now with Precipice Blades, it's 85% accurate, but it hits both opponents, meaning that it hits both opponents 85% of the time. Any other time, it's either hitting one opponent on either side or hitting no opponents at all. We don't want that. But when it does hit both opponents, we have 236 HP EVs and 31 HP IVs. We have 252 attack EVs with 31 IVs. We have 12 defense EVs and 30 IVs. We have 0 special attack EVs and 31 IVs. That was sort of Pokemon's fault, not mine. When you have a legendary Pokemon, it usually has higher IVs, so we're not using it anyway, so we're just gonna move past that. We have 44 special defense EVs with 22 IVs, 0 speed EVs with 22 IVs. It has the Drought ability, which creates Sun on switch-in, and it has the Assault Vest just to boost up its special defense. It helps it out greatly during battle. Up next, we have Cresselia. It has a Levitate ability with the Mental Herb held item. It has the move Psychic, Trick Room, Lunar Blessing, and Gravity. It has the Dark Terra type. It has 252 HP, 0 attack, 164 defense, 20 special attack, 68 special defense, and 0 speed. Its IVs are 31 for HP, 15 for attack, 30 for defense, 31 for special attack, 31 for special defense, and 31 for speed. So for this specific Cresselia, I have it using the move Gravity so that Precipice Blades can hit more often. But in doing so, with the Levitate ability, I also cannot use the move Earthquake, because without Levitate, due to gravity, I would hit my own Cresselia, and I don't want that. Its third move, Lunar Blessing, is very useful because it heals and removes status conditions. So if one of my physically attacking Pokemon get hit with a burn status, it can be removed with Lunar Blessing, and they get healed from any chip damage or any general damage throughout the battle. Trick Room is there because I have a specific Trick Room mode with Calyrex-Ice Rider, Torkoal, and Groudon. My Venusaur and Ogerpon Heartflame move generally fast in the sun, but it's important to have it there just in case, because Groudon thrives better because it's slower, so does Torkoal, and the Torkoal set that I'm using is more so for power rather than support or just straight defense, and the Calyrex-Ice Rider set I'm using has lowered speed instead of lowered special attack, so it's necessary. Up next is Ogerpon Heartflame. This Ogerpon has Ivy Cudgel, Horn Leech, Swords Dance, and Synthesis as its moves. It has the ability Mold Breaker, and it has the Heartflame Mask. This is automatically a Fire Terrestrialization type, so not much you can do there. Its EVs are 244 HP, 252 attack, 12 defense, 0 special attack, 0 special defense, and 0 speed. It doesn't really need speed EVs. I wanted to primarily focus on its bulk and its longevity, and I didn't want to use Cornerstone, so I just picked Heartflame because it's also a Sun team, so that's just what I want to use. It has 30 HP IVs, it has 31 attack IVs, 21 defense IVs, 20 special attack IVs, which, like I said before, it's a stronger Pokemon, so it's going to have those higher unnecessary IVs for stats that we don't really use. But its special defense IVs are 20 and it has 31 speed EVs. IV Cudgel is a very fun move because depending on the type of Ogerpon you have, it changes in type. So for Heartflame, it's fire type. For Wellspring, it's water type. For Cornerstone, it's rock type. And for original Ogerpon, it's grass type. I have Hornleech here for some HP regain. I have Swords Dance for that extra kick, and I have Synthesis for outside of Sun. It heals a little, but during the Sun weather condition, it heals more, which is good. We want longevity without wasting an ability with Sturdy. It works, but that's not what I'm using for this team. Up next, we have Venusaur. Now, Venusaur are usually ran special attacking or specially defensive or just generally bulky, but shout out to Hayden when I say this, but I use its attacking stat rather than its special attacking stat, partially to catch some opponents off guard. It has the Fire Terra type, which changes the Terra Blast move to a Fire type move, similar to Ogerpon's IV Cudgel move. It is the Fire Terra type because this is a Sun team. We want the most firepower, literally, for this Venusaur because its attack stat isn't that high, but it's necessary and we need it up there. It has the move Petal Blizzard, which hits all opponents just like Earthquake. It has the move Poison Jab, which hits one opponent, but it's a physical move. It has Terra Blast so that it can hit harder during the Sun weather condition, and on top of that, it will be stabbed because of the Fire Terastallization. If I Terastallize this is more so of a last resort kind of Pokemon, so it might not always get to Terastallize, but when it does, it's important. Its final move is Synthesis, same as Ogerpon. It heals less outside of Sun, it heals more inside of the Sun weather condition. Its item is Black Sludge. The fun thing about Black Sludge is it works like leftovers, but because Venusaur is a poison type, it heals it rather than hurts it. If any other Pokemon steals this move or takes it, they will get poisoned and then it will take just constant chip damage, unless they have a Cresselia that knows their names. But yes, its ability is Chlorophyll. It's a hidden ability which boosts its speed stat by, I believe, 1.5 or 2 in the Sun, which is great. We want a fast, bulky, attacking Pokemon. Because of this, it has 108 HP EVs, 252 attack EVs for that maximum power, 20 defense EVs just to keep it alive a little bit, 0 special attack EVs because we're not running this specially. It has 12 special defense EVs because we want it for that little bit of bulk, and it has 92 speed EVs. I didn't spend much EVs for its speed because it's already going to be fast in the Sun, so we can add a little bit for some extra speed and a little bit of extra firepower, but overall it's just going to move faster and it's going to be great. We're going to love it. It has 30 HP IVs, 30 attack IVs, 31 defense IVs, 0 special attack IVs. The funny thing is, when I breeded the original Venusaur parent with a Ditto, the poor special attack IV actually got passed down, which made me want to make this a physically attacking Venusaur, which that's great. It has 28 special defense EVs and it has 31 Eat IVs. Up next, we have the Torkoal. Its moves are Eruption, Heat Wave, Earth Power, and Protect. Its ability is Drought, just like this set is a more of a specifically offensive set rather than a support set like I said before. The move Eruption does more damage based on HP, so if I have a high HP value and I enter battle, then Eruption will do max damage, and it gradually gets lower as Torkoal's HP whittles down. Heat Wave is similar to Precipice Blades, where it hits both opponents 90% of the time rather than 85, which is good, 90% of the time. The other 10% are hitting one opponent or not hitting anyone. We don't want that. Gravity doesn't help with that though, unfortunately. We have the move Earth Power as some sort of coverage move. It doesn't really do much damage, but just as long as we can get some coverage out there, we're finally, we want this Torkoal to stay alive as possible, and knowing me, I'll probably send it out at a very poor time, so I just have Protect on there just in case, just for that extra parachute. It has the Grass Terrestrialization, just for some defensiveness against water types. Since this is a pure fire type, it's weak against water, rock, ground type moves, and grass resists all three, which is great. Its HP EVs are 236, it has 0 attack EVs, it has 20 defense EVs, 252 special attack EVs, it has 0 special defense EVs, and 0 speed EVs. Simply because we want it to move last, this is for the Trick Room mode, so we want it to move last rather than first, so that Trick Room can revolve, tip the scales completely over on its head, actually, and make slower Pokemon go first. I love Trick Room. That's my favorite kind of team. I love Trick Room teams. Torkoal's IVs are 31 for HP, 31 for attack, 30 for defense, 31 for special attack, 31 for special defense, and 31 for speed. That was a mistake. I used a gold bottle cap on Torkoal, and I should have left its poor speed stat alone. But it is good because it pairs well with Calyrex and Groudon and Cresselia's speed. It moves slower than Cresselia, so that if I send it out at a poor time and I use Lunar Blessing during Trick Room, that means that Torkoal will have close to max HP or max HP itself to hit opponents for max eruption damage. Maximum eruption damage. The only move I primarily use is Eruption, but its other moves are good as well. Up next for our final Regulation I Legendary is Calyrex-Ice Rider. Its moves are Glacial Lance, Seed Bomb, Terra Blast, and Avalanche. It has the Aswin ability, meaning that it has 2 abilities, which are Unnerve for Calyrex and Chilling Neigh for Glastrier, which is the Pokemon that Calyrex rides on in the image there. It has the Clear Amulet item, which means that if it's inflicted by Intimidate or any stat lowering move, it will not have its stats lower. So that means its attack stat stays the same, HP doesn't necessarily get lowered, but its attack, defense, special defense, and speed will stay the same no matter what. This is commonly used against opposing Incineroar because all Incineroar run the ability Intimidate, and if they don't, they're not smart. But continuing on, let's look at its moves. Its move Glacial Lance is really cool. So for every time Calyrex-Ice Rider kills an opponent, it gains either a +1 to its attack stat or a +2 to its attack stat. Now, commonly, VGC is used in double battles, so I would get 2 attack boosts if I killed both opponents with 1 Glacial Lance, or I would just get 1 if I killed 1, or yeah, either way, I would get an attack boost if I killed an opponent. Now, I wanted some coverage on this Pokemon, so I used the move Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb is very underrated. It's 80 base power, 100% accurate, and it can hit opposing water types that try to use the grass type or water type moves on my Groudon or my Torkoal or anything of the sort. So it's good for that. Next, same deal with Venusaur with the Terra Blast. It has Fire Terrestrialization for that good defense. The good type change, it's just great. And because of the type change and plus the sun and plus same type attack bonus, aka stab, it hits hard, harder than expected. Now, Avalanche. Avalanche is very weird, but it's very hyper specific. This Calyrex-Ice Rider has a speed lowering nature, which is Brave. Brave nature is plus attack minus speed. So because of that, I have 51 speed at level 50. Now, because I have 51 speed at level 50, it means that Avalanche hits harder if I'm the last one to move during battle. Usually, most of the case, I run this with Cresselia so that I don't move last because I want to get my hits off quicker than my opponent. But in that small case where I have to, I use it and it works. It goes from 60 base power to 120 when I move last, or when I move slower than all my opponents, which is the last same thing. So that's how it works. And it goes really well against a move that I didn't put on any of my own Pokemon, which is called Wide Guard. Wide Guard blocks any dual opponent hitting attacking moves like Glacial Lance, Calyrex Shadow Riders move, Barrage, and even my own Torkoal's move Eruption and Heat Wave and Precipice Blades. It's a lot of dual opponent hitting moves that get blocked by Wide Guard, which is actually great for my opponents, not too great for me. But Avalanche is there if Wide Guard is used, or if I know my opponent has Wide Guard with an open team sheet or anything like that, or just simply playing against them. I can use Avalanche to my advantage and hope I stay alive with my HP stat. Its HP stat is 244 EVs, its attack stat is 252 EVs, its defense stat has 0 EVs, its special attack stat has 0 EVs, its special defense stat has 12 EVs, and its speed has 0 EVs. Its IVs are 30 for HP, 31 for attack, 31 for defense, 28 for special attack, 31 for special defense, and 4 for speed. See, I was lucky with these sort of IVs because its lowest is speed, which is definitely good. But since I don't really use its special attack, that's not really so of a bad thing. But like with Groudon, Cresselia, Ogerpon, its stats are going to be generally higher. Its IVs are going to be generally higher because it is a legendary, which it's okay. We can work through it. Let's see if our opponents can handle the heat. like my opponents handled the heat better than I expected because this team did not do very well. That's alright. There's always room for improvement. But if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, share with all your friends, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Later.